Okay, alright, so
close to 5.
we've been busy here. Now that we have access to a 3D printer, we've been making all sorts of radical small doodads. Yes, that's a real word, doodads. And we're working on a way to increase resistance on the axle. We're using the standard O-rings, but we've put more distance between the O-rings by increasing the diameter around the bolt here, so that we can get more resistance to feel more like a traditional kingpin truck by using the existing technology that we have already.
What else is so hip with this thing?
Well, on the back side, it actually has a recess for the bolt. So instead of requiring 2 tools to be able to remove or tighten that bolt that holds the hanger in, you can use this rear piece, which actually locks the nut in place, and then just use the front nut. Now this is a concept that we're experimenting with. We're not 100% if this is going to be what follows suit with our final design, but if you take a look, there's actually a sleeve that this 1/4 inch bolt goes into, and instead of being 7/16 on the bolt head, it's actually 9/16, which, if you're aware, is actually the same bolt as the axles, or the axle nut.
Yeah.
So you can actually use the same tool to tighten down your wheels that you'd be using to tighten down this.
Or take it off.
Or take it off.
Yeah.
So this is pretty hip, and it does increase the resistance of the trucks, especially out towards the extremes of the deck tip. So expect to see that on the later production models, or at least be an option.
Okay.
And so we've moved on from the Platypus into a longer board with a 26-inch long deck, which actually gives it much more of a traditional skateboard, or at least longboard stance.
Yeah. And with this board, we actually put a little bit of effort into making it.
Yeah. So there's a lot more contours.
Yeah, and this would be more about what we'll be wanting to make them.
It rides really well. I think it'll offer a lot of, rideability that some more expensive longboards offer without all the price, and, it's also totally modular, so if you wanted to change kingpin angles or make it more symmetric, or, put a more radical kicktail on there, it's all possible. So this is looking good. It's the next step, and we're never finished here at Other Planet.
No.
So we've moved into a whole new world of gravity sports, and we are currently experimenting with street luge technology.
Sweet.
And for this project, I've brought in an old friend of mine. We go way back. Captain Robbie here
Yeah.
was the master street luge builder back in the day, and has taken time away from his busy schedule building rock crawling buggies and random God knows what else. But he's given us some insight into the street luge world, and has potentially offered up his life for us to experiment with it at Maryhill in the street luge racing world.
Yeah.
The latest generation in Other Planet test dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Version 5.0.
Yeah. So what we got going here is we basically just got an existing luge, and we're just
Pegless luge.
pegless luge, yeah. And we're just testing and getting a baseline about where our trucks are on something that's just kind of stock, and we're making a goal to actually then build a totally custom luge around our trucks.
So the fact that they bolted on without much hesitation, and then increased the turnability and what I'd say the performance with little to no effort, shows that there's a lot of potential for this next step. But I don't know, I want to see what Robbie has to say a little further about the street luge segment.
Street luging's an interesting game. It's definitely one that's hasn't been tested in all its abilities, I think, so there's a lot of room to grow. I still don't think anybody has the perfect setup of Street Luge yet. And I don't think anybody really knows what that is yet, even.
Yeah.
So we're all in the same game.
Yeah. All right.
So, and just real quick, Robbie, why was it that you were interested in testing out these trucks on your Street Luge?
Well, I took a ride on a skateboard you guys had, and I noticed how awesomely stable they were at high speeds, yet still very comfortable with turning, even at those high speeds.
Which is like ideal for street luge.
Which is ideal for street luging.
And prior to even riding these trucks, you were even in the market for street luge trucks, right?
Yeah, right. And I've been thinking about doing this Maryhill race for about a month now, and so I've been looking into getting some better trucks for my street luge. And I guess you could say it just so happened I hopped on one of Riley's boards and took it for a spin, and I was completely blown away by the stability. And like I said, I mean, you're going down a hill, bombing a hill, and you want to take a turn, go ahead. You know, it basically leaves the options up to you and not what the truck decides. And I think that's cool with me.
Sweet.
Nice. So, hopefully we can avoid all trips to the ER with this project.
Oh yeah.
And we'll all learn quite a bit about, broken fingers and, police regulations.
Broke this finger last time I did a truck.
Sweet. Well, and hopefully we can change street luge a little bit.
Yeah, and also synthesize the information that we've learned into making it a better downhill truck, as well as, a higher performance street luge truck for the future.
All right. Sweet.
Other planet, over and out. I'm pretty pumped on this thing though. Like,